Hi, I'm Ben Bristow, aka Mr. Bristow, and I'm here at Point Blank Music School to show you a few of my top DJ tips. So the first trick I was going to show you was related to beat matching, and it allows you to set the two speeds of two tunes perfectly the same without the need for listening to them. Now this won't be 100% reliable, depends on what decks you're on, but it's a little cheat basically, so it allows you to kind of beat match things quickly. You still may need to fine tune them with the jog wheel, but 9 times out of 10 it will work. So the most important thing that you do with this is to set the range of the CD deck to as low as possible. When you turn CDJs on, unless you've preset this in Rekordbox, they will turn on at a plus or minus 10% range. So what you want to do is change that to 6, plus or minus 6, because that means you can move the speed by much smaller increments and get more precision basically. So what I'm going to do is basically play this track. I need to let the speed of the track be displayed here first, because I need it to be at least working out roughly what the BPM is. So I'll wait, maybe skip it to a point where there's more going on in the tune, or where the beat's heavier, so that it will pick up the actual BPM, or what it thinks the BPM is. So let's just wait for this one to pick up. So what the point of this is, basically you need it on the smallest range, and you're going to look at what on these decks they actually give you the decimal place. So you need to make it so that the decimal place on both, so it's basically at the very edge of that decimal point. So on this one at the moment it's saying 122.7. So even that has a small range, that value. So what I need to do is get this speed set so that it's at the very edge of a particular decimal place basically. So if I go up to the top end of 122.7, what I'm actually doing is really kind of accurately moving it. So I can't just randomly move the slider and so that it says 122.7. I'm putting my fingers either side of the slider in this little kind of ridge here, so that I can really precisely set it. So it's now tipping between 122.7 and 122.8. And then what I want to do is leave it so it's saying 122.7, so it's kind of the highest point it can possibly be on that value. Now you've just got to watch out, because sometimes it kind of analyzes it again and then it will flick what the number says. So you need to do it a couple of times. And then let's just try that. So that's at the top end of 122.7. Now this side I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So obviously choose the same number for both, get it to the top end of the same number. Hopefully then they're going to be very close to being the same speed. So this one's saying 122.4 at the moment. So I'm going to move it up till it hits the top end of 122.7. It's worth kind of tipping between the two values so that you're sure you've got it set exactly in the right place. So now it's at the top end of 122.7, same as this one, hopefully. They do keep flicking around because it's kind of, these tend to be a bit more accurate. But now what I'm going to do is drop this one into this one. Hopefully you'll hear that it will stay in sync, even though I haven't actually listened to them. So just get this song in the middle. It's worth keeping an eye on these numbers, because you might see that it flicks to a different value and then you can set it back to where it needs to be. So this one's drifting a tiny bit, but you can hear it's pretty accurate. So basically this technique allows you to beat match two tunes very quickly. It's not foolproof. I'd always suggest learning to mix by ear, because then you're going to be able to tell if this is not working correctly. But you know, if you're on sort of newer decks and they're tunes that have a regular beat, quite often it will get it right and you can mix very quickly. Very useful for when you're running out of time or you're not familiar with the tracks and you need to be able to beat match them, you know, in a matter of seconds. So yeah, try it out.